Hi, and welcome back to my channel, Living in Boston. And if you're new here, thanks for stopping by. Today, we're going to talk about how much it truly takes to live in this beautiful city. So stay tuned as we peel back the layers and break down the cost to live in Boston. Hi, my name is Lisa, and I'm a local realtor here in Boston. I make content about the ins and outs of this beautiful city. If you have any real estate needs, I would love to chat. My info is on the screen below and also in the description. Don't be afraid to reach out. I love meeting new people. Now let's get into it. So, how much does Boston really cost? Before I get into this, I want to make a disclaimer that I'll be talking in averages and generalities. Cost of living is going to drastically differ from person to person. Someone who is not a big spender, pretty frugal, and just needs a roof over their head, their cost of living is going to be a lot lower than somebody who is a big spender, appreciates a luxury apartment, and also likes going out to eat. So please keep that in mind when I get into the cost of living and breaking down the cost of what it means to live in the city. Let's kick things off with the most debated topic, housing. It's not unheard of for a large portion of your take-home paycheck to go towards your rent or your mortgage. Living in Boston is expensive. We consistently rank in the top 10 lists across the country of the most expensive real estate, with New York, San Francisco, or LA knocking us out. So let's break it down into numbers. If you're looking for a one-bedroom apartment to rent in blue-chip locations like the South End, Back Bay, or Beacon Hill, your typical rent price is around $3,200. If you're looking to purchase a one-bedroom apartment in these locations, the average price point is around $800K. Of course, these prices can go up if you add on quality of finishes, outdoor space, washer dryer, central AC, etc. One of the most expensive areas to live in Boston is Seaport. A one-bedroom apartment generally for rent is around $3,500 or up to $4,000 or even higher. If you're buying a one-bedroom apartment, average price point is around $1 million. The inventory around Seaport is a lot newer. Everything was built in the last decade, so it's almost a guarantee that the kitchens are going to be nicely updated, there's central AC, and in-unit washer dryer. And typically, the units are in luxury high-rises, which have a ton of out-of-the-apartment amenities like common fitness centers, swimming pools, roof decks, grills, concierge, and the list goes on. If you're willing to look outside of what I like to call Boston proper, your cost of living for housing tends to decrease. A one-bedroom apartment for rent in Charlestown, Southie, or Brookline is typically $2,800 to $3,000. To purchase, average one-bedroom cost is around $650K. Finding your own little piece of Boston real estate can be an adventure. This is why it's essential to have a real estate advisor by your side to help you wade through all of those little details. Now let's talk groceries. The cost of living in Boston extends to your kitchen too. Everyone has been talking about how the cost of produce has gone up. Eggs and milk are making headlines. The nice thing about Boston is that there are tons of grocery store options. Let's go through a few of them you'll probably see around town. Number one is Market Basket. Market Basket is a beloved grocer in Massachusetts. Local to the area, the grocery store is known for taking care of its employees, great customer service, and extremely low prices. When the president, Arthur Demoulas, was fired by his board of directors, his employees demanded that he get rehired back or they walk out. Number two is Trader Joe's, a national neighborhood grocery store. There's a very tiny one in Back Bay, but they do have plans to expand to a larger space in the next year or two. There's also a large one in Seaport. There are also other locations throughout the neighboring areas like Somerville, Cambridge, and Brookline. Known for having its own products, it's very popular and extremely inexpensive. Number 3 is Stop and Shop, Shaw's, and Star Market. I'm grouping these together because they're kind of interchangeable in my mind. Very standard grocery store that may have weekly deals and specials, but beyond that, everything is pretty much market price. I don't think they are the most expensive grocery chain, but every time I shop there, I'm kind of surprised how quickly things add up. It's a good alternative if you're looking for all of the big brand names that you're used to seeing in a typical grocery store, like Kraft. And number 4 is Whole Foods. Probably the most expensive grocery store, and they are very easily found in Boston. I don't know what that says about one another. There's a location in the South End, Charlestown, and Beacon Hill. They are pretty particular about what they stock, so brands may be a little bit more obscure or less known. With a focus on organic products, there's a reason why people call Whole Foods Whole Paycheck. Next topic is transportation. When you're living in a city, you have a bunch of options to get around. None of them are free except if you decide to walk or bike. But if you decide not to walk or bike, here are some ways to get around. Number 1 is car. Boston does offer free street parking if you're a resident of that specific neighborhood. All you have to do is register your car with City Hall and you get a resident parking pass. However, be wary of street cleaning. If you don't move your car, that's a $40 ticket, and you get your car towed, which can be as high as $300. This is your most affordable option if you want to have a car in the city, since it's free. You just have to be careful of the rules and regulations. If you want to park your car in a garage, a monthly spot can range from $250 to as high as $500 a month, depending on where you are in the city. Gas currently in the city is around $4 per gallon. Number 2 is the MBTA. If you decide to ride the T, which is Boston's subway system, it's a really inexpensive way to get around. A one-way T ride is $2.40. If you decide you want to get a monthly unlimited pass, it's $90. However, this isn't bad compared to New York, where a monthly subway pass is $132. Let's not forget our friendly bills, taxes, and utilities. Let's talk about taxes first. If you live in Boston, here are some taxes that you can expect to pay. Sales tax, excise tax for your car or boat, graduated income state tax, and there's probably a few that I'm forgetting. Utilities are another variable. The weather here in Boston can be a true roller coaster. Expect to pay a high AC bill during the summer and a high heat bill during the winter time. Your responsibility of utilities can be water and sewer, electricity, gas, and cable and internet. But remember to find out, especially when you're looking for housing, what is your responsibility? Some landlords do pay for heat and hot water, which can bring your cost of living a little bit lower. Our last segment is lifestyle. I'm going to group together all of the extracurriculars that you might expect to do while you're living here in Boston. This includes things like getting coffee or going out to eat or taking advantage of the cultural institutions that we have here in Boston. A perk about living in the city is that there are a bunch of things going on. Some of them are free, you just need to know where to look. A lot of museums will host free nights where admissions are complimentary. For example, the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum every first Thursday of the month is open late and free for everyone. Usually the cost of a ticket is about $20. Check out the website bostonseaport.xyz. There's a calendar here that shows all of the programming the Seaport is offering that month. Lots of free or low-cost activities like free admission to the comedy show at Lucky's. All you have to do is just purchase an item. Cost of food is going to depend on where you are and the establishment. A cup of coffee is probably going to cost about $4, but it can get as high as $7 or $8 depending on all of the different milks or syrups that you add to it. If you're going out for lunch, a salad or a sandwich is probably going to be about $12 to $15. If you're going to a bar and grabbing a cocktail, that will probably cost about $15. If you're going out to eat, entrees typically start at $20. I've definitely noticed that going out to eat and just going out to the bars have gotten significantly more expensive in the city, especially post-COVID. So there you have it, folks. Living in Boston can be a wild ride, especially for your wallet. But living in this fantastic city with its history and cultural institutions and all of its different activities and opportunities that it has for you is definitely worth every penny.